Hello, everyone. Once in a while I run into someone that's been in the business 30 plus years, has been down the road. It's a good time to spend with someone that, like I say, been down the road for you young people or younger entertainers or someone that has never given up. So today I visit with a man out of New Jersey named George Becker, and this is Spotlight on the Arts. Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts, coming to you via Zoom from the J-Rick Studios here in Central Missouri. I want to ask you if you please join me in welcoming country music singer, entertainer, songwriter, George Becker to Spotlight on the Arts. George joins us from the state of New Jersey. Welcome, George.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you for giving me the honor to spend some time with you. I've been
The
looking
honor is
forward
all
to it.
mine.
Well, George, I'd like to ask you to tell us a little bit about George Becker and how you first developed a passion for music and entertaining.
Well, I'll tell you, um, back when I was young, very young, I used to watch things like Don Kirshner's rock concert and the
Oh,
Midnight Special and stuff like
oh,
that. Dick Clark, I'm that
yes.
old. But yeah, I was fascinated by the rock world, Aerosmith, Elton John, Kiss. Um, so that brought me into the world of music. Get together with some friends when we were in middle school. Everybody learned an instrument. We started playing in a garage band, yada, yada. And next thing I know, I'm here writing songs in my studio and loving life. So that's where we're at.
So it's in
Well,
your blood, it stays in your blood. I think it's in our DNA. We just kind of
of
born with
course.
as an entertainer, and all of a sudden someone turns on the switch, and here we are,
Oh,
and we're
yeah.
still plugging along. Well, you was a farm boy to begin with, basically, and living in the countryside in a small community there in New Jersey.
Yeah, I wouldn't say farm boy, but
Okay.
I came from a small town called Rahway, New Jersey. Very small town, with the one-way streets and
Yes.
the mom and pop stores and everything. Now I haven't been there in a while, so it's probably a little different now. And now I live in a different I live in a different part of New Jersey, which is very rural. We have a big
Oh,
yard with two dogs fenced in, and we see
excellent.
the deer and the fox and the coyote and the bears, so it's all good. But
Yes.
yeah, I definitely come from a small town situation.
Small town, like
Yeah.
we've heard the John Cougar Mellon
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
something like
small
that.
town. Well, let's go a little deeper. What person do you feel inspired you to begin your career as a singer, performer back there, maybe in that time frame, or maybe in your college 20s, 30s?
Well, in back when I was in my 13, 14, 15 years old, when I started playing, I definitely looked up like Steven Tyler,
Yes,
Led Zeppelin, all those classic rock bands,
yes.
Then as it went on, of course, I went through my different stages of music. But once I got serious into my adulthood, and I was writing rock songs in the 80s and 90s, then I dropped out for a little bit, came back with again with rock music. But then um, I started to settle into the country world. Um, I caught a glimpse of like Eric Church and some George Strait and things like that. Chris Stapleton, those kind of people, and I love their songwriting. So to me, country music is all about songwriting, And
Yes.
I'm first and foremost a singer-songwriter. So that's where that all came from. And now, based in 2022, I really went full on country, and that's where I'm at now. So
Super.
that's
Well,
where
was there one person though back at some
back
point
in the day, yeah,
back in
Steven
the day
Tyler.
that patted you on the back and say you've got a great
Oh,
voice, you've got a knack for running playing the guitar? Was there one person that you would want to
sure. My mom.
mention, or maybe your mom? It's funny how that happens. It's usually mom or grandmother endorses it too. So
Very much my family really embraced what I do, and they still do. It's humblesome, that, uh,
yes,
you know, and I have a lovely lady that supports me too. And like I said, we have two dogs, and I have grown children and grandchildren, but at the same time,
excellent.
back in the day, yes, my mom and my cousins and my aunts and uncles, and then neighbors, the whole community
Yes.
comes to into play.
That's
So,
great. That's
you
great.
know,
Well, I understand New Jersey is somewhat of a, I understand, people tell me that New Jersey people seems to work together and support each other. Do you
yeah,
find that as,
yeah, it
um,
does.
okay, so
It's definitely like that, where I come from anyway. Like I said, the town that I grew up in, I remained there until I was in my 20s, maybe early 30s, and then I moved out into more of the country, the rural New Jersey, because my small town wasn't such a small town anymore. Everything develops. So
yes, I've seen it happen.
yeah,
Back here, you don't even recognize the towns anymore. Well,
exactly.
now I wanted to point out that in your area, New Jersey, New Yorkers, what have you, always had a little bit of a different accent than we're talking about in Tennessee and North Carolina, South Carolina. So
Right.
you have a little bit, I noticed you don't have that country twang, but you do have a voice that really catches on, has its own flavor. So I just wondered, I just really look at it like that, listening to you. Your voice is, it attracts people, it reaches people
Thank
without
you.
that country twang. And so how do you identify with that? What's your take on that?
So here's where it's at. Like I told you, like I started in the rock world, and I'm still proud of everything I did. But as I moved older, and my songwriting definitely improved and grew,
Yes.
into the country type of music, country blues, country rock, however you want to say it. But I refuse to make believe that I'm someone I'm not. Like, I'm a country singer, but I'm not from Georgia. I'm not from Tennessee. And I'm proud of where I'm from, New Jersey. But I love going down to Nashville and
Oh,
all of
yeah.
that. There's no doubt about that. Um, but like I said, I have people that have grown up with me. When I turned country, they're like, you're not country. You're from New Jersey. You don't sound country, all that. And I say, well,
Right, right.
that's why I wrote that song.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that in a minute.
You say I ain't country, right? So I tried to prove it
Now
by writing songs.
yes. So you performed with a band for many years, paving that plus 30 years up to you're 25 now and are now actually performing at some great venues. Can you fill us in on this achievement, the road track, some of those bands you played with and people might recognize back in your area, of course, the United States. Uh,
Um, yeah, you mean the bands that I played with?
yes,
Yeah,
or
I played with a lot of different bands. I played a lot of different festivals and venues from small to big. Um, really, the bands that I played with, I played everything from Ace Frehley, Cheap Trick, all of those kind of bands I've
uh-huh.
opened up for. But then I've also played with Artemis Pyle from Leonard Skinner,
Yeah.
the Outlaws,
Oh,
and people like that. there are so many that it's almost impossible to name because I've been playing
Yes.
since like the
Well,
80s.
yeah, you can't name them all. It seems like. Well, now I asked that question. We both know, and I just interviewed uh, a young man there from your area, New Jersey, and not only him, but a drummer, young drummer out of the New York area, Palisades area, and I see they're busy now, starting to work and open up here and open up there. And so that's why I was so anxious to get with you that you've really run the race and still running it. So I guess I'm looking for that endorsement that you say, don't quit. Here I
Oh
am. I'm
no,
still
yeah.
plugging along.
Well, well, I would definitely say that's my motto. I mean, your dreams are your dreams. I mean,
Yes.
this is how I would put it to any young people, the same ones that put it to me back in the day. You play music, you write songs, and you play music because you love to write songs and play music. You
Yes.
don't ever go into it for financial gain. You don't go into it for satisfaction of someone else.
Right.
So my take on everything, my advice to somebody is just do what you like to do. And if you can make a living out of it or get any gratification that way from it, that's a bonus.
This,
You don't ever try to put a label on your dreams.
yeah.
I just do what I do because I love to do it. There is nothing better than being on that stage.
Yes.
Um,
Performing.
it just the way it is, and the only way you'll ever understand that is if you do it.
Right. And
So
you
that's all
never
I got
lose
to
it. You never lose it. And
say.
I'm still plugging along, as they say in Missouri again. But
No,
that's exactly, it's more for gratification, I think. And
it
then
is.
if something happens, my goodness,
That's a bonus. I mean,
celebrate. Mhm.
there's a song by Luke Combs called "Doing This," and it says, "If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?" And he said, "I'd be doing this because you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter." So,
exactly.
and
Great.
that's the way I am too.
Well, your performances are really exciting and energy based. Uh, can you give the viewers an idea how you prepare for a performance? Some people do push-ups, some people
No.
run a mile, some people just
Well,
pray.
at this age, I like to sit in the green room all by myself.
Ah,
I don't drink anymore, so I like to just be quiet and just be mellow.
mellow
Uh,
out.
I like to have my own space, you know.
Yes.
And then when you go out on that stage, whether it be acoustic solo, duo, trio, or a full band having an energy-driven performance, no matter what, you leave it all out on the stage. You go out there ready to go, and you come back with nothing left.
Right.
That's the way I do things.
Great. Yes, great. Well, would you like to give a shout out to your band members, songwriting team, or anyone that you feel needs a pat on the back? Big thank you, maybe at
Well, I will say that I do most a lot of some songs I write alone, and then my songwriting partner Pete Fry, who is also my lead guitar player and mandolin player and musical director. He's me and him put everything together in the studio.
yes,
So, but some I write alone, some we write together. Some we write in a session. There's so many different ways to write songs.
sure.
And then I have a live band that it kind of changes here and there depending on what gigs we play. But I will give a shout out to my pedal steel player Jim Ryan and my bass player Leo Sabatino, only because they've been with me a long time.
And both are excellent. I just
Yeah, so
watching them, watching the riffs and stuff. Well, um, your energy in the band's action, actually, along with you, it's a really dynamic song, and they're addictive. It seems like to the audience. Share with the viewers just how you feel when getting into a song and performance. I see you're so calm, but I see when you perform, you put it in high gear, maybe in a afterburner. I don't.
Oh, I mean, the adrenaline kicks in. I mean, it depends
Yes.
on what songs and there's different kind of passions, right? So
Yeah.
when we play slower bass songs, the passion's still there because we wrote I wrote the lyrics of what it means to me. So
Uh-huh.
I will tell you though, when you look into the crowd and they're singing your songs back to you as you're singing
Yes.
them,
Uh-huh.
there is not a feeling in the world that is better than that. Uh,
Uh-huh.
it brings a tear to your eye. It really does. And
Well,
it
I can
humbles you
imagine.
beyond belief. And
I
that's what
remember,
happens.
and Kobe Bryant's telling me that I can't wait to perform and have the people sing the songs back to me.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Yeah.
So you
It's the
feel the
best.
same thing, even. Well, we talked about sharing one of your performances or one that you've written, what have you, along with Mr. Maybe Fry. It's an original song. Are you still up for that? And would you go ahead and introduce the video by name and its origin, how that came about?
Well, it's the song is called "You Say I Ain't Country." That's the one.
You said I ain't country.
You
Yes.
say I ain't country, and it all comes from, like I said, people have known me for a long time in the tri-state area of New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and even down in Tennessee and Carolinas. Um, and I was in a rock band. I fronted a rock band. I wrote rock songs. So when I said that I was switching to country, the the thing that came out of my friends' mouths was, You ain't country," and I'm like, "Okay, well, let's do this." And I
Uh,
started writing a bunch of country songs, and I perform a bunch of country songs. But I wrote this song about why I say I am country, and
you,
that's what it is.
that's your answer to you ain't country.
Right.
You, I am country. Well, let's run that, George. Here's
Okay.
George Becker and crew with You Say I Ain't Country.
In the heart of the small town where the sun sets low, dusty roads and memories, that's where the river flows, yeah. We learn life's lessons on the gravel, on the grass, with every heartache and every joy. We watch the moments pass, yeah. Friday night lights, bad drinking Saturday nights. You see, I ain't country, so let me set it right. I grew up on these red dirt roads and I drove into the night. I got a love for the simple life. It's a story still untold, and I rode with the rebels and had a fire in my soul. You see, I ain't country, counting lines to the open fields. Believe me, I am country, and this is how country feels. Load 'em up, tailgates county lines through the open field. You say I ain't country, but take a look into these eyes. Believe me, I am country, and I wear country with pride. We hang down at the freight yard, or up on the railroad tracks. Down that road behind Lake Ave, it whispers on the pane. Blue collar jeans and boots don't judge by where I'm from. God-fearing whiskey soaked soul, country's where I belong.
George, that was really awesome. Again, I see the energy and the commitment, the feelings that you portray, the excitement, and I can see. I've got to see people singing that back to you at some
it's great.
point from the audience. Has that happened yet?
Yes, it has. It happens on a lot of my songs, and it like I said, it humbles me to beyond belief.
Right. So that now that is out. That is being released, or it has been
It's out.
released. It is
It's out.
playing now. Okay, great. Well, you share with me your plans for the future, especially this new year in 2025. Could you share with the viewers what is on the itinerary and some of the highlights of your 2025 tour that is coming up?
Absolutely. First and foremost, you can get any information and all dates that I'm playing at officialgeorgebecker.com. That's officialgeorgebecker.com. Everything's on there. We have the songs, the dates, pictures, videos, everything. So that's a one-stop shop. Even get some merch there if you want to support,
Sure.
and wear my logo all around.
Right.
But as far as 2025 goes, we have a lot of dates that are pending, so I can't really announce the dates. They will be coming up on the website shortly. But there is one date that I am going to mention because it means something very, very dear to my heart. I recently paired up with an organization called Tunnels to Towers, which supports law enforcement, firefighters, and the veterans of this country. And every show that I do, I have two songs that mean a lot to me, and they're dedicated to the veterans and law enforcement and firefighters and EMT. One's called Mission, that if you look me up and you put in Mission George Becker, it will come up on all digital platforms. And also one is called It's All About Freedom, which we play every live show. Now, I am doing this show on May 17th in Frenchtown, New Jersey. It's going to be an annual thing. This is the first annual. I am supporting Tunnels to Towers Foundation. And I will have 8 bands with me, and I will be headlining with another country singer from Jersey called, her name is Nikki Breyer. And then we will have a bunch of other acts. It will be an all-day show. It's listed on my website, so if you can go there and support that particular show, 100% of the proceeds will be going to the organization. And to me, the veterans of the United States military are owed everything.
Oh, wow.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Great. Sir, are you a veteran by chance?
I am not. It's the biggest regret of my life that I didn't get to serve. So I'm trying to give back in another way.
Yes, that's great. Thank you so much. From a veteran,
You are
65
welcome.
to
Thank you for
67.
your service.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Well, George, I hope to try and follow your progress in the future.
Thank
And
you.
I hope this interview will assist you in going forward and getting more
Thank you.
bookings to show your awesome talent. By the way, how does one get in touch with you in case we might want to book your talent, buy those tickets for your festival, what have you? Uh, and so they can also track your progress.
Again, everything's on officialgeorgebecker.com. Everything.
Excellent.
Everything.
We'll run that on ticker tape below, so we'll make sure we get it on there
Yeah.
2 or 3 times.
I appreciate it.
Great. Well, George, I always ask my guests, what is your advice on starting out as a performer and how to stay with the course? You touched base on that a little bit, but go ahead and from the heart again.
Yeah, my my advice about that is, like I said, all of this comes from a dream. I mean, because some people have more talent than others, but everybody has a dream, and everybody should be allowed to fulfill that dream.
Yes,
And you just do what you like to do. Do what makes you happy, and I guarantee that it'll make somebody else happy.
excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're just about out of time. So I want to thank you so much for granting
Thank
me the interview and contributing to Spotlight on the Arts, making it really a learning experience, informational, somewhat of an exciting interview, talking to someone that's been down that road for so many years. I'm just really tickled and happy to see that you're like a couple other friends of mine. I used to play their records. I've interviewed them. And now they're still
Yeah,
living that dream.
there's no retirement age when you're doing this.
That's
You just do it until you're done.
right.
You know,
Exactly. Well, I guess that would be your final words. Just do it until you're done.
do it until you're done. That's
Well,
all.
everything I do, I try to do from the heart.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
I guess that's what fulfills that dream a little bit. If you're happy and you feel it, then
that's it.
you
That
say,
that's the that's the only rule. There's no other rules, man. You try to do it with as much integrity as you can,
yes.
and that's sometimes it doesn't come across like that to people. You can't please everybody.
Thank you, George. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Mhm. Well, thank you, the viewers of Spotlight on the Arts, for taking time out to watch the shows. You just heard the story of a country music entertainer that has been steady pouring out the entertainment for years. So I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I have. Rick J saying, be safe, stay healthy. See you next time. See you, George.
Thank you.